Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing the Ram 1500 Warlock. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Dodge Ram here in San Diego for giving me some time with this Warlock. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below. Also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a 3-liter turbo inline 6 twin turbo, to be exact, that goes through an 8-speed. Fuel economy 17 around town, 24 on the highway, with power outputs being 420 horsepower and then 469 pound-feet of torque. Before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So we've got the normal Ram hood, nothing crazy there. You've got the blacked out 1500 badge, which is pretty cool. And you can see you've got the blacked out headlight bezel as well. The grill's been blacked out. It's not painted, it's just blacked out plastic. And then we do have fog lights with this package. We also have recovery points as well. And so when you put it all together, it's got a pretty sporty look. The tiny wheel setup is 275 by 70 by 18, so it's got the same setup as the Rebel, and it looks like it even has the shocks from the Rebel. Look at that! Bilstein shocks. Pretty cool. No fender flares or anything, though, so that's a little bit different. Ram badge has been blacked out, and then this is just going to have the fixed coil spring in the back. And you got another little Bilstein shock, it looks like. And then, if we take a few steps back, see the stance on this truck's actually really good looking. And then it does have the little Warlock decal there. It's kind of hard to see because it's a black truck. Now, when it comes to bed features, there's not a whole lot. Basically, it's just a truck bed. No bed line or anything like that, so pretty simplistic, but the tailgate's light. We've got the new style of taillights that come with the newest Ram. You can see the little blacked out exhaust tips there at the bottom. But basically, when you look at this, I mean, it's not exactly the same as the Rebel because you don't have the fender flares and everything, but it kind of looks like the Rebel. As always, inside with the Warlock, it's going to be pretty basic. So you've got just basic trim here on the door panel, and you've got the cloth seats here in the back as well that are a little bit more on the basic side of things. Do have ice buckets here, plenty of leg room. You've got under seat storage, and it's actually a 60-40 split, so you've got this seat then those two together. We do have some vents here in the back as well, but overall spacious passenger cabin. And then this leads us up front, which again is gonna be a little bit more basic with all the trim, but notice at least the front two windows are automatic. And then you've got blind spot running with the mirrors as well. Payload capacity on this truck is 1619. And then here are the seats up front. Again, got that nice cloth trim. It is manually adjustable with the front seats. Got your little light controls there too. And let's start her up. Bada bing, bada boom. Ram logo front and center. We've got adaptive cruise control. You've got your little gear limiter. You got this kind of like fake leather-like trim on it that, yeah, pretty basic. It's just plastic. Controls there for the center stack, and then you get a little stock there on the back in normal fashion. For those of you that don't like all digital, guess what? This is mostly analog on either side, but you do have that digital element in the center that you can scroll through, and that'll give you different bits of vehicle information. Just a standard backup camera in reverse, nothing too fancy pants with that. And then the infotainment system, it's actually pretty quick to respond. So I guess the smaller the screen, the better response time with the Ram. Anyways, you got some physical controls for the volume and tuner button down below. Your lane departure is kind of randomly there in the middle. Single zone climate with this. Tow haul mode, your parking sensors front and rear, stability control, trailer brake controls. And then your shifter here for the 8-speed auto. Notice this does have 2-wheel drive as well as high and low. No 4-wheel auto though. We do have an axle lock with this, your off-road cruise control, and the auto stop start. So this does have like all the stuff the Rebel has. Now this is a bench seat as well, which is kind of interesting, the little storage pocket there. We've got, I'll take this out so you can do this, but some cup holders, you can lift it up to be a seat, so you've got like the headrest and everything up there. And then there's more storage underneath the seat as well. And then you got storage above the glove box, regular little mirror, and then power sliding window. This truck's nicely equipped. So you're not really going to be able to see the window sticker very well, but $56,990, so quite a bit less than what I see most base model Rebels. Those are usually like, gosh, 67 grand. It's 10 grand more. Let's see how this performs. Bada bing, bada boom. Well, let's see how the poor man Rebel drive. The poor man's Rebel, rather. Not the poor man Rebel, but the poor man's Rebel. Gonna have to do defroster. But don't set it too high. Just keep the windshield somewhat clear for us. So I think this is a cool package, but I always get sticker shock with these new vehicles, any of these new vehicles, because, oh, sorry about that, folks. The GoPro battery froze out. I've kind of discovered that it's just the cold. You'd think the GoPros would do better with the cold because a lot of the skiing community uses them, but I guess not. I guess not. Anyways, as I was saying, yeah, I always get sticker shock with these new trucks because they are crazy. I mean, I've been buying cars for the channel since like 2019, and used to be able to get a Rebel for 59,000 MSRP, like loaded up sunroof and bedliner and all the features, and now it's like that's getting close to Warlock pricing nowadays. It's just crazy to me. It is just crazy, the price increases that we've seen over the last few years. Everything. Yeah, this drives just like a Rebel. It's got that, like, you know, tall, kind of high up feel with it, and it's got the same engine, right? It's got the same suspension, it looks like, too. Just doesn't have the fender flares, which actually gives it a more aggressive look, because the fender flares, right, that makes the body look a little bit wider, but because this has narrower body, not the body itself, but without the fender flares, and then you've got the same offset with the tires and the wheels, it means that the tires, they don't poke out like Brodozer levels, but you've got a little bit of tire poke, so it just makes it look a little bit more aggressive. I think it's kind of cool, if you ask me. But tires seem to be doing well. I think these tires, if I remember right, are mud snow rated, so you got great grip. I mean, and I am just in two-wheel drive, as you can see, and the roads aren't terrible right now, as you can see. It's still relatively dry, even though it's snowing quite a bit at this. I mean, the roads are wet, but like it's not like crazy slushy or anything on the roads quite yet. It'll get there very soon, though, with how much it's snowing. Man, this Hurricane is so quick. It's smooth too. It's a nice powertrain when it comes to power delivery. But yeah, this, I mean, you got blind spot monitoring with this truck. It's pretty nicely equipped for what it is. So yeah, I think the Warlock, they finally figured it out, because the Warlock went from being like parts bin truck, right, where it's just leftover parts put together, to now they've like solidified a solid package. Basically, it is the poor man's Rebel, right? It's the Rebel without having the Rebel name, and it's more basic, which I think is really cool. We need more basic vehicles. And when it comes to off-roaders, like, although this doesn't have four-wheel drive auto, having low range and having an axle lock, this truck, and the tires are amazing on this truck. This truck will be able to go so many places, so many places. So it's capable, it's more affordable, it's basic. Like, this is what we want out of vehicles. This is what we want. So let me know what you think, and let's hope that idiots don't crash on the highway so that I can get home at a reasonable time. So yeah.